Hey guys, it's me, Sonya, a Sonya W coach, and listen, we back here again, and I wanted to tell you a little something. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my daily routines and how they help me make sure my dreams meet reality here as Sonya W coaching. So, listen, before I do all of that though, I would love to know about your routines. What do you do every day that help you live intentionally and make those dreams reality? Tell me below. Go ahead. Tell me. Did you tell me? Well, anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share a couple of my morning routine and my evening routine, a couple of my routines, just to talk about the power of routine and how that can help you live an intentional life every single day of your life with little to no thinking, okay? Because listen, I am team no think. I actually, I'm leading this group with at my church, and it's like just a planning group. It's called Let's Plan, or You Got Plans. That's what it's called. And we plan together every week. We just sit down, we take a moment, and we plan out what we're gonna do for the week ahead. And I was joking about the fact that doing this and just helping doing this over and over again. It's because I don't like to plan. I don't like to think. I like to actually have things in order in such a way that I don't gotta worry about it. So anyway, look at me going down this whole diatribe. So that's the reason why I have morning routines and evening routines, because they help me do the things that I say I want to do the things that I say I value with little to no effort, because they're just something that I do every single night. Okay? So I'm going to break down my morning routine and also my evening routine. But before that, I want to actually give you 3 reasons why I truly believe that routines is what's holding you back. The power of routine is so key. And let me give you 3 reasons why. One, it makes it easy for you to knock out goals, okay? When you got your routine down pat and you put your goals in your routine, you're able to hit a goal without even real extra effort. Like if you want to, I don't know, start lifting more, or maybe you want to, I don't know, drink more water, right? Well, if you put it in your routine that you drink a cup of water every time you wake up, or you drink a cup of water when you sit down to your work computer or something like that, like you put that in your life, then that's you accomplishing your dream with no effort. If it just gets ingrained in your head, soon from now you don't even realize that you have this routine, or you feel weird when you don't do it, right? It's because it's part of your everyday life. So number one, it makes hitting goals easy. Okay. Number two, it allows you to make fewer decisions. Have you ever heard of this? What was that? So it allows you to make fewer decisions. Have you ever heard of decision fatigue? Yes, that is a thing where you literally have been doing so much and you've been making decisions about so many different things that when you get to this last decision that you got to make, you have no more energy. You literally are like, fine, whatever. Have you ever gotten to the end of the night, you're trying to figure out where you're going to go to dinner with your boo, or where you're going to go to dinner with your family, and you've been making decisions all day. What am I going to wear this morning? What am I going to eat this morning? Where am I going to go to work today? If you work from home and you want to go to a different cafe, or what is this? What is that? Your brain is literally making all of these decisions on the fly. And then you get to the end of the day and your boo is like, man, let's go somewhere to eat. And he asks you, what do you want? You have no idea. Or they're figuring out, well, what restaurant you want to go to, and you're like, man, I don't care, I don't want to do anymore. Right? That's because you're tired, because your brain has been making so many decisions. So routines allow you to cut down all that decision making so that you have more energy and more room to make decisions on the important things in your life. I was joking about figuring out what to eat, but sometimes that decision fatigue can come in at the wrong time where you got to make a real serious decision in your business, or maybe you have to think through a real big problem at work and you can't because you've made too many decisions already for the day. So having routines allows you to not have so many decisions and lowers the chance of having decision fatigue. And then the final thing is that it actually helps promote rest. Now, I don't know if you realize this, but rest is key to your decision making, to your living out your life in the best way possible. There are so many research studies on the importance of rest. And when you have routines that promote that rest, man, oh man, it makes life so much easier. So it actually helps you promote rest, and rest is what you need to make the decisions and to make this life as intentional as it can be. Okay? So I hope that those three things actually make you want to make these routines, okay? Now, I'm going to get into my routines because I've found really success in doing these types of things in the morning and in the evening, and it helps me to live life intentionally. Okay, so a couple of things I use to build my routines are kind of like tools that help me build a good one. So in my morning routine, I make sure that when I'm thinking about the things that I'm putting in that routine, I'm thinking about my values. I'm thinking about the goals that I'm pursuing in this season. I'm thinking about my life relationships. Remember, I talk about those 6 key relationships that we all have to have, right? Whereas a relationship with God, your mind, your health, your family, your friends, and your finances. You should at least have those, right? And having a routine that incorporates those helps me on both sides of the coin. One, having it connected to my values and my life relationships allows me to really find value in actually doing the routine. And then on the other side, it helps promote the things that I say are important to me. So when I make sure that a part of my nightly routine is to write something that I'm grateful for, I'm helping to build my relationship with God because I'm remembering and reminding myself of the goodness of God. Or how when my morning routine has a time of prayer and walking, I'm actually knocking out 2 of my relationships and my values. One, where I'm trying to be healthier, and then 2, where I'm trying to promote or grow my relationship with God. You see how all of my routines incorporate those types of things. So let me actually break you down a little bit about all of my different routines. So my morning routine for me is that I wake up slow. That's my first step in my morning routine. I realize that I don't like to like jolt up. I don't like to be like, and now we got to go, right? So I actually wake up a little bit earlier than I really have to accomplish the rest of my routine, just so that I can lay in bed just a little bit longer. Sometimes I'm able to do it. Sometimes I spend a little bit too much time. But at least I have that time there where I don't literally have to get up and go. It helps me. Now, I'm not saying that you got to do it, but if you find yourself like groggy in the morning, or you feel like, man, I feel so rushed, maybe wake up slow. So that's number one in my morning routine. Then I brush my teeth and I put on some gym clothes, and then I get on my treadmill and I walk. I walk pretty quickly on a high incline because I'm trying to get that heart rate up, but then I'm also praying. I realize that sometimes I'm a little bit too sleepy to pray. And then also, like, I'm not getting the exercise that I want. So I actually and I realized I went on like a prayer walk one time and I was like, this is amazing. So I incorporated that into my morning routine. I connected the two. Now, even in that, that's a little bit of showing you how I think intentionally about my time and about my life, even in building out my routines and figuring out what works for me. I realized that me waking up early to pray and sitting in a beanbag sometimes had me going back to sleep. And then also sometimes I end up not walking enough or working or moving my body enough. Or when I wake up in the morning, if I don't move my body, it feels stiff and it feels not all the way together. So I put the two together and I make it work. And that's what I do. I pray walk. Then after that, I cool down, and sometimes I'm doing some work for the business. Maybe I'm writing a script for these videos. Maybe I'm writing one of my weekly emails. Go ahead and subscribe if you want a little bit of encouragement and you want to keep moving your dreams. I drop an email every Monday called Dream Boost Mondays, and then also the Thursday meeting emails that tell you about these videos. But anyway, like maybe I'm doing some writing for that, or I'm planning for something else. Like I'm always doing something, right? Either I'm doing that or I'm reading a book. Because again, one of my values is that I'm growing in my mind. And one of those things for me is to read books. And even when I do business work, that's increasing in what I desire. I always talk about the main six life relationships or life principles, but those are only the main ones. You can build whatever is key or important to you. And I actually built a seventh one for myself, where it was building and business creation, right? So even in that, I'm building on that value in the mornings. And then finally, I shower and I start my day job. That's my morning routine. Now, I even have a work startup routine, but we're not going to get into that today. Maybe I'll tell y'all about it at some point. We'll see. I don't know. But that was my morning routine. Again, it incorporates all of these different things in my life because these are all important to me and to my values. Okay? Now, let me talk a little bit about my evening routine. Now, one thing that I used to struggle with a lot is actually getting to sleep and staying asleep. So I started to realize that that had a lot to do with my evening routine. I will sit there and watch TV or YouTube and all that kind of stuff for hours, and then I wake up and then I'm like, can't get to sleep because I'm all wired of what I'm watching. And then I wake up tired, or I wake up in the middle of the night, or something crazy like that, right? Well, I realized I had to get a hold of my evenings. So now, this is what I do. Sometimes I start with a little quick Pilates stretch. They have some really cool like evening stretches that help me like calm down and also stretch my body. But I don't always do that, but sometimes I do. But what I always do is write down a couple of things in my own gratitude journal. I have something called a 5-year journal where it literally has 5 slots for every day of the year. And every single day of the year, I just write a couple of things that I'm thankful about or something that was significant that I want to remember in the new year, and I write that down. I look at the past years because I'm now in the 3rd year of this journal, and I tell you, it's really cool. Man, I would suggest anybody getting a 5-year journal, and if you want the one that I got, go ahead down below. I can give you a link to that. But that gratitude journal or that 5-year journal is just a really cool way of incorporating my relationship with God, but then also making sure that my heart is ready and prepared for a good night's sleep. Thankfulness is so important in our lives. It literally changes our mind, heals our body, like all of those things it does. So I try to incorporate that in my life every single day. And then also the stretching is a part of me trying to live out that value of health or that relationship with my health. Then I brush my teeth, of course, because we're brushing teeth out here in these streets, right? All right. But I brush my teeth. I get ready for bed. And then I read a physical book. I read a physical book because research talks about how the blue light and phones and all that type of stuff really can cause you to stay awake. So for the most part, I try really hard to read a physical book, whatever one of my goals is to read at least 2 books a month. So I always have 2 books going. One I might be listening to on Audible, and another will be my physical book. So I read that physical book at night with a night light because I've turned off the lights by then. And then, if I'm still awake or I'm feeling like I'm about to fall asleep, I may play like a prayer meditation or something like that. And that causes me to be knocked all the way out. And then I wake up in the morning refreshed. Okay. So, these are two of the things that I do to really make sure that I'm ending and starting my days right. And I hope that this inspires you to do the same, because I know that once you get on a routine, once you start building out your life in such a way that you're intentional about your mornings, you're intentional about your evenings, you're intentional about the moments that you have in your life, you are going to see your life transformed. Okay? Now, one routine that I cannot live without is my quarterly reset. And I am so excited because I have revamped a workbook that I've created a few years ago. I put in some more information about how to build correct goals, how to actually do a thankfulness exercise, how to really look back at your past and effectively close the door on the past, either good or bad, so that you can move forward in your dreams and in your dreaming every single quarter. And I would love for you to have that. And even more fun is that because we're coming up on the end of the quarter, I'm doing this in the first quarter, or this video is dropping in the last couple of weeks of the first quarter of 2023. So I've created this package for our Q2 2023, where I have that workbook and also my Dream Week template. A Dream Week template is the thing where you can build out your week in such a way that it actually follows your values, it follows the goals, and you figure out that you actually have a whole lot more time than you thought you did when you do this thing. Okay, so I'm putting all that together for end of year, or not end of year, it's not the end of the year, it's Q1, the end of the Q1. I'm putting this all together for you so that you can start quarter 2 with a bang. Okay, go ahead and click the link below to get your own. And if you do it at this time, we're gonna have a live coming up in like the first or the last week of March, first week of April. Okay, so look out for that live if you purchase the package. Okay, so listen, y'all, I'm excited. I'm excited for you to start living out your life more intentionally with routines. Try out my morning or my evening routine. Figure out what works best for you, how you can build out your values and live life intentionally through them. Okay? I'm excited for you because I know once you start doing this, it's going to be a wrap. All right, y'all. Have an awesome day wherever you are.